What's up guys, my name's Soapsy and welcome back to another FIFA 21 video. Today we're going to be talking about what if Caputo, the objectives, a team that I have built that will help you get this done a lot quicker, and whether or not this card is of course worth the grind. So to start with, let's have a look at the objectives for this Caputo. Obviously it's an 87 rated card. You're looking at scoring 2 goals from outside of the box in the new foot-friendly difference makers objective. So the difference makers one, the requirements are that you need to have 4 bronze players in your starting squad and the rest of your cards have to be silver, they cannot be gold. You need to assist in 3 separate matches using forwards. You also need to score 5 goals using Serie A players. You need to win 4 matches, and you need to score in 10 separate ones using Italians. So of course Torregrossa is going to come in very, very handy. This Caputo card could go up to an 89. Sassuolo do not have the best fixtures going. They've got Inter Milan in there, they've also got Napoli, so it's going to be quite difficult. But I mean, 6 goals in 5 games, that could all happen mostly across 2 games against 2 of the lower clubs that they play in there as well. So if this card gets an upgrade, it could be insane. But let's jump straight into the team that I've built to help you with these objectives. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, guys, this is the team that I have built personally. First and foremost, my advice would be to start with is just go to your club, find out what Serie A silvers you have to start with, because obviously you're going to want to base your team around the Serie A silvers. That's the main thing I would do in this terms of getting the objective done in general. Obviously, if you've got Torregrossa, that is a fantastic option to use because he's Italian, overpowered, great player to have in this setup. The second thing I would do is go and look at your bronzes, search league by league, try and find a selection of bronzes that link together in some sort of way. They don't have to go necessarily in all of the right positions or the positions I've even used them in. I would say that you just want to find a couple that strong link to each other. They don't necessarily have to be any good because you're going to sub 3 of them off instantly. Everyone's going to be doing that in the games, so only one of them will remain in the team for the whole game. So go and find yourself some bronzes. I've obviously got 1 from the Serie A, which I'm using, and 3 from the Saudi League that all strong link together. So if you can find some for chem purposes that will link together, you can block off either at striker, centre mid, right mid, either at centre back, centre mid, right mid. Just however you can link them together to get chemistry will really, really help you out. I've gone down the right hand side here and obviously linked in the Serie A player himself. If you've got 4 Serie A bronzes, then of course go ahead and use those, but I imagine they're going to be very, very price locked very quickly with everyone trying to do this objective, but they may die off later on as this objective wears down. But might be worth investing in some bronzes after this objective is done if we're going to get another themed objective in this sort of mode. But what I've gone for is, of course, these 3 Saudi League players down the right-hand side who all strong link to each other. They're on 10, 9, and 7 chemistry. And then the only other players that are off chem for me are Duncan and Verde, who is just playing out of position because I didn't have a left mid for the Serie A. So in goal, I've gone for the player that just basically players that I had. If you have Romero as well, he is a great option to have from the Silver Stars. If you've done all the Silver Stars, you'll have him and Torregrossa. Mainly for the Serie A, I have gone with the Da Costa in goal, mainly just because he gives chem to the centre-back, which is Igor, which, to be fair, for a bronze, he doesn't have bad stats. When it comes to the game, what I'll be doing in terms of subbing off is I will be taking off the right mid, and I will bring on Stoppelkamp, who I've got. I will be taking off Igor, and I'll bring on Juan Jesus, and then I will also be taking off the striker up here, and I will be bringing on whoever I decide fit. If I need Italian goals, then Moise Kean will come on, or Caprari will come on. If you don't have Torregrossa, Caprari could be a great option in general, but again, it might be getting quite pricey now with players looking for sweaty Italian silver players. But basically, my tips for this objective would be try and build the best Serie A squad that you have, because obviously that's going to help with meeting most of the objectives at once, and then find yourself those bronzes that are going to link together nicely. Players and positions that you can block off. If you go into the 4-3-3, there's a lot of options for blocking off just down one side with a winger, a centre mid, and a fullback. If you've got 1 bronze from the Serie A that you can link in, then that will really help you. In terms of boxing out 4 players, the 4-4-2 really works for that, because you can just use the right back slot and then centre mid, right wing, and striker, which helps to get a lot of chem, and obviously the centre back won't have to link to them. There's a lot of options. You could, of course, go for 4 bronzes across the back 4 with just a flat back 4 of bronzes, and then link in a silver keeper just for the purposes, even if they're not from the Serie A. You could just build a full defence from, say, Championship bronzes, English League 3 bronzes, any league that has some good bronze players. Build out that back 4, put a silver player in goal if they've got one, and then go from there and build your Serie A team out in the attacking lineup, in the centre mid roles, the wingers and the strikers, and that will obviously help you as well. Whether you go in a 4-3-3, whatever you're playing, that could really help. Again, also if you decide to go with a goalkeeper and 3 centre backs, if you're someone that plays a 5 or 3 back, that's another option. But basically, my advice would be get the bronzes in there with chem so that you're playing with 100 chem. And then obviously stack your bench, with as many of the best silvers that you've got that you can bring on, especially that you're going to be able to bring on in the positions of the bronzes that you're going to want to take off. So for instance, if I did want to take off the right back, then I would bring Sambia in that I've got in my club and obviously put him in there instead and leave Igor on. But I think that the main thing is at right back, this bronze player, 77 pace, bad defending, but I might be able to hide him a little bit more at right back rather than in one of the central positions when he's going to be in more important. I would say definitely that the fullback slots, sometimes in this game you can get exploited down there, but I generally would say that you could get away with a bronze player there, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of overpowered bronze players out there with a lot of pace as well. I found I had a couple of wingers in my club that had over 93 pace for bronze players, so there's going to be a fair usable bronze players, but it just depends what you have in your club and how much you're willing to spend on players to make this grind easier for yourself. But I think that this is a good setup. It's an easy setup to use. Just use what you've got, build the team out, and try and find some players from a different league that all link in, and then get as much chem as you can, and obviously bash out this grind. It's not too long. It should only take you 10 games tops, as long as you can win the 4 within it. Outside the box goals might be a little bit more difficult, so you may need to message someone to ask about those. But other than that, this grind seems very reasonably easy. Caputo obviously links to a lot of players. With an 89, he could be insane, so I think this is definitely worth doing. If this video helped you in any way, guys, if you like the video, please leave a like. If you want to subscribe to me, you can. Make sure to check me out on the socials below. My name's Soapsy, and I'll see you guys later.